Oh, yes. Great job, Sony. Great job, everybody all the way around. Holy shit, could you imagine it was that good? Nobody is gonna say that. It doesn't really matter. Why would you even talk about plot points when you're going into this movie? It's the same reason why if you look at Morbius or Kraven or whatever, that they're gonna keep pumping out. Like, why would you even put the energy into looking into it? It's just that bad. It doesn't matter to them. It doesn't matter to the director, it doesn't matter to the writer. It took 4 writers to make this movie. 4! Dude. Whoa. All right, welcome back. My name is Josh. Let's talk a little bit about Madam Web. I don't know what anybody else was expecting after we saw the actual news that it was gonna be a thing, then the wrangling of actors to pretend that they're gonna be in the MCU, then the set photos, then the trailer. I don't know what anybody else is expecting outside of, wow, it's terrible. The reason why we're also getting this is that Sony bought the Spider-Man character, but it included like 900 other characters for a certain amount of period of time. They can't have that pass without a Spider-Man property continuing to come out. Animated series, you have these random Morbius movies. They need to meet a certain time period to keep the right, to keep the character. So they're gonna pump $80 million into a crazy movie. It's almost like a tax write-off just to be able to keep the character. That's why we have this. Just keep that in mind. The movie starts out in the jungles. You have this photographer that is taking a look at spiders, ooh, webs. And then you have Ezekiel, which is the main bad guy of the entire movie. Turns out that they're trying to find this spider that has some sort of magical properties or can, grant strength or whatever the fuck. Essentially extracted from this rainforest. The doctor that is taking the photos of the web wants to use it for good. Ezekiel wants to use it for bad. They find the actual spider. Ezekiel's trying to wrestle it out of this person's hand and then accidentally shoots them. Also that this person was pregnant. Oh, and guess what? It was Madam Web's mom, Grandma Web. We kind of like see this entire jungle that also has these protective warriors that also are dressed up like Spider-Man that come down and rescue her. They birthed out the child after a spider was bit the actual Grandma Web. Now we're into the future in 2000, whatever the fuck. And that's when we start the actual story with Cassie Webb. Cassie Webb is an EMT. She's trying to save lives, all this kind of other shit with Ben Parker. And the story essentially is about Ezekiel trying to prevent his death by going after these 3 girls. Turn out to be all these like spider women and all this shit, with just an awful sequence that continues. And Madam Web is their protector because she can see the future. It's all this kind of interweaving of the web. You have these shots of the glass that is broken. It looks like a web. You got a shot of some other crochet shit over here. Shot of the web. It's all web designed. Oh my God. By the end of the actual movie, Ezekiel gets what's coming to him. I don't know how else to speak on this. All right, Josh, come up with something that you liked. Come up with something you liked. If I'm struggling to find what I liked, then the opposite can be said about what I disliked. Everything about the entire movie is hot garbage. You look at an $80 million budget. Where the f did that go? The CG was just awful. They like to skip around some plot points. I think that they like ADR'd the entire villain. Maybe he kept saying things and they wanted to do rewrites within the edit, so they ADR'd pretty much everything that he was saying. They didn't ADR it very well. They don't really care about the movie, so it's exposition out of the ass. I'm here to take pictures of webs and save the world. That is my point. I am a scientist, and that's where I'm going.
You serious?
There's no real discovery within it. It's all exposition out the ass, including out the ass bland acting. Holy shit. It was so bland, and which is surprising because the director has done a lot of really great TV shows. I mean, it's a terrible movie though, so it's not like I can blame him. I mean, they probably just like saw this and was like, okay, fine, I get to see it. I get to do a movie. And then the caveat is like, uh-oh, it's a Sony Spider-Man property. Spider-Man. I mean, wow. wowie, wowie. You really can't go into it knowing that you're not gonna have a good time and then come out of it being like, gosh darn, that was the bee's knees. Please just like erase what you think of this movie out of your mind. Erase the idea that it actually exists. Erase it. Just get rid of it. Go back to the 2000s and just go watch the regular Spider-Man movies. They're 100 billion times better than whatever the they decided to pump out. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, I feel like I know what you think. All right, on to the next one.